The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Greetings to all of our viewers out there, and welcome once again to another edition of Service Matters. How important service is in any community here in the Commonwealth, and for that matter around the world. And I know that today is no different. I'm Dave Clifton. I'm happy to be the host. And my guests today, Mark and Laura Ayasse, and of course, they're a familiar couple here in the town of Easton, Massachusetts. And you've heard of Dr. Tudor. Well, we got two doctors here today. They're a husband and wife match-up that they do what they can to promote and to work with young people that are interested in making progress. And you do that with a one-on-one tutoring program. Mm-hmm. How long have you folks lived in the town of Easton? I'll start with you, Mark.
Well, just as long as my wife has, and since she's the one that keeps track of details like that, maybe I should defer to her and ask. But no, we moved it, was it 94 or 96?
96.
Yeah.
96.
Kids were very young, and we've noticed a difference right away, even in the school systems. Mm-hmm. We're very impressed.
You two have been at this, Dr. Tudor, for quite a while.
Just a couple of years, actually. I come from software engineering. My wife, and at the time we made the switch, my wife had just retired from Oliver Ames High School.
I taught chemistry at Oliver Ames for 16 years.
And I was in the software world, and I had been many places in the software world, both career-wise and geographically. And then this opportunity came up. For me, I wanted to give back. And I'd never been in that position where I could do something, where I could actually feel and touch that I was doing something for somebody else.
So if you'll tell the viewing audience, Mark and your wife Laura, what does Dr. Tudor mean to you?
Oh my goodness. I think that their little slogan, "How learning hits home," I think hits home for me. It is, for me, it is an opportunity to do something that I've never done, and that is to see that something that I'm doing is actually helping somebody else in some way. And for me, that's very big.
I think for me, of course, I taught for many years, and my favorite part about teaching was seeing how I'd see the aha in the students. I taught chemistry, so a lot of students were, they came in a bit scared. But seeing them transform, and in my retirement, being able to be part of that still. We're not necessarily directly tutoring all of the students, but we're talking to the families all the time and finding out that, wow, this really made a difference. I think also for me, being able to have my husband, who was in the corporate world for so long, he was the one, making the bigger paycheck and all that, while I was having fun and seeing the reward of teaching. And now he gets to be part of the same thing. And really, this sort of thing was Mark's dream. And I got to do my dream before, so.
We're in a fabulous spot. I get to talk to tutors invariably. The only reason they're talking to me is because they want to help.
Right.
And I get to talk to families, parents, adult learners, and they ask for help. And almost always I say, well, yeah, we can find someone for you. We can help. And it's just
Isn't
wonderful.
It amazing? Here we are celebrating the 300th anniversary here in the town of Easton. And the Tricentennial Committee's objective is to try to bring families together. Mm-hmm. And I think this show is very appropriate, tying in with the Easton 300, because you folks are working with families, and we're trying to bring them together. And we hope that at the end of this year, 2025, that our theme of bringing families and community together will continue. And that's when we know that our mission is successful. if it doesn't just stop, like someone said to me, Dave, what are you going to do next year? We're coming to the end of this celebration. And I have said it's really, I hope, going to be the beginning of families in the town of Easton, Massachusetts coming together. But I am forever grateful to you folks for the kind of work that you do, because there are many students that need that one-on-one in their own homes. And of course, you have to deal with more than just the youngster that you're talking with.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know if you want to speak to that, but the range of people we've been able to work with is just, it's fantastic. Obviously, there's kids in school, but that's as young as 3. But we've been able to help people who are going after nursing degrees and get a GED. And for some older folks, it's about computer literacy and help with consulting really with some of the newer platforms that are out there that they're not familiar with. So being able to be in that mix and being able to say, you know, this is, people can be lifelong learners. And there's always a place for somebody to just step in and say, hey, look, I can help. I can help you out.
And Laura, I know that it's more than just talking to a student. You really like to talk to the families. You like to make sure that you deal with the schools, because that means a total impact on the student, because that's what the student surrounds themselves with.
I think one of those pretty amazing opportunities we had was to work with a student that was a few months from turning 22, where he would age out of the public school system, and was trying to finish up the last 2 classes, because he had taken a break, had some difficulties in life, and we had a team of tutors help him. We had 4 different tutors that were working with him to be able to finish his last 2 classes. But in order to make that happen, we were very much in touch with his parents, who were trying to support him to get that finished, and the guidance office, in order to make sure that we knew exactly what he needed, put together a lot of material. It was an online course, but we put together a lot of, basically a syllabus to help make sure that he stayed on track. And we have a picture of his high school diploma that he was able to finish before he turned 22.
You know, you got a great reputation here in the town of Easton as a retired teacher here in the town. I've heard people have lots of good things to say about you.
Well, that's good.
And wherever I see you folks around town, and I've seen you quite often, I've never seen you folks sitting alone. You're always sitting with people, and first thing I thought of is they're real communicators. There's no doubt about it, and you have to be when you think about a tutor doctor. What would you like to say to the audience out there that may be interested in sitting down with you folks for different reasons?
You know, it's always good to have the conversation, I guess, is what I would say. I mean, you never know where just a conversation will lead. Sometimes people have come to us with a thought in mind for what they need, and as we begin to talk and they find out what's available and we ask questions, they go, oh wow, they have a revelation, and they go, you know what, I really need this, or I really need that. But that's very human. And having those conversations, it's a natural thing. It's the way
it's a magic word, human.
It's very human.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I really enjoy being in the community too. I mean, when I was teaching, I was, for about 10 years while I was teaching here, I was overseeing the Science Olympiad that the high schoolers did for the students at RO, and then we added another 5th grade program to that. And watching the high schoolers work with the elementary students and have them become the teachers, just to see my students shine. Some of them said, wow, I'd really like to be a teacher. Or some of them said, boy, how do you do this? I don't think I ever could be a teacher. But it was transformative for the students. And I feel like we still get to do that where we are now, because we're still with the families, the students. We did some STEM activities at the family STEAM night at Blanche Ames back in May, I think it was. We were at the block party and did a lot of activities with kids that came by, and just being out in the community with the families, with the students of all ages, you know, from children to adults that are kids too.
It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
And Mark, I was going to ask you, do you folks also getting involved in testing, helping students with SATs and that kind of thing?
We do. We do. And that's a high pressure situation that students can find themselves in. And we you know, because of networking and communicating, we have both that, and we can also help people learn, you know, are there pathways to college that would be useful to them, and we can have we have people that we can refer them to. So we're really trying to work in that space where if there is something that you need that can be taught, we'd like to help, you know, where we can.
And I would imagine that both of you get a lot of personal satisfaction
Oh, yeah.
when you see some good results
Oh,
and the
yeah.
students come back and tell you how
It's-
grateful they are. Tell us about some of
Yes.
that. I know
Yeah.
you don't have to go into names,
Yeah.
but tell
Well,
us how you feel about.
one of my favorite stories is a story of a young woman who tutored for us, who was on her way to medical school, and between that, she wanted to do a little tutoring. And we connected this this woman with a young person who had just come into the country and was struggling in the first couple of years of school because they didn't know how to write English. So we had this tutor working with them, and as time went on, you know, this was a household with a lot of people that had come to the States, and so there were a lot of families, friends, neighbors, aunts, uncles in and out of the house, and the tutor didn't know if this was a good environment and was wondering, should I continue? And we told the tutor, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, let us know. We'll switch you out, get somebody else in. And so we called her a week later and said, hey, we've got somebody that we could replace you with. And the tutor said, oh no, I'm not letting go of this young child. And I just went,
Right.
that is where.
The tutor making a connection with the student. And then a few months later, the father called and said, we're going to stop tutoring. And my heart fell. I'm like, oh no. And he said, our daughter doesn't need it anymore. She's got what she needs now to be able to succeed in school because of this tutor. And really, that's what it's all about, is tutoring ourselves out of a job, really, so that the student is now independent. So
It's something special to be able to be satisfied in the role that you play professionally. So I say hats off to both of you
Thank
for
you.
making
Thank you.
the dream come true. Now, if people want to contact you, Mark, or you, Laura, do you have a contact information you can share with the viewing audience?
Yeah, we have, you can find us on all the social media on a website. The number that you see most often is 508 306 4448.
Can you repeat
call.
that again
Yeah.
for our viewing audience?
Yeah, 508 306 4448.
right.
Terrific. Anything else you'd like to say, Laura, about
About tutor
what
doctor,
this
or the-
job means to you and
You know,
as a former teacher?
yeah, as a former teacher, I feel like, you know, I mean, I started out saying I'm ready to be retired, and I'm not really retired anymore. But I think that if I was going to do something in my retirement that would be rewarding, this certainly is. I mean, obviously, running a business is a little bit more than what I was doing teaching, or different from what I was teaching when I was teaching. But it's like I'm I'm able to continue doing what I was doing, but for a lot of kids and families. I used to teach 120 different students every year, and we together are able to touch a lot of families. And I think the other thing that I really like about it is we get to work together. And we've never been able to have a job together. And actually, we do really well together in this business.
And Mark, I'm sure you feel the same way.
As she does, but working together, yes, I do, actually. We work, we have a little office, we're back to back, and one will pick up a phone call and I'll spin around in my chair and jump on the call with her. And,
yeah, we really...
You know, we have a blast doing it, and she's better at some things than I am.
And Mark is a lot better at some things than I am, so we work well together. Yeah.
It works.
And we're learning each other's strengths too. And oh, you know what? I really like to do that, you know, or I don't like to do that. And we pick up, you know, for each other. So, but it really is rewarding. It's a different way of doing what I was doing as a teacher, but it's still really helping.
And it's
families.
Closer contact with the families, I
it
think,
really
perhaps,
is, yeah.
than when you're in the school system.
Yeah,
Well, I think
it
I
is.
could speak on behalf of a lot of people in town that we are very pleased that you both live in the community and provide your service, which could bring good results to lots of young people. I found myself being retired, but I've had the joy and the honor and the privilege of being able to chair the Easton 300th anniversary celebration with a dynamite group of volunteers, 10 appointed by the select board, and then it ended up with about hundreds of people involved. I always say to people, it takes 35 just to run a parade. You can imagine all the volunteers we've had all year. Every time I see an orange shirt, I think of a volunteer giving their time, their talent, their ideas, and of course, a lot of their resources to make this celebration important. We just finished a dynamic gathering of all kinds of townspeople. They estimate about 2,500 at the bonfire, barbecue, and concert. We had 2 bands playing, and of course, it was terrific to see all the people that showed up. Hats off to our fire chief and the fire department for putting that huge bonfire together.
It was impressive.
And it
I was
big.
so impressed. You were both there,
We
and you
were.
saw for yourself.
Oh, it was
firsthand.
amazing.
Feel the heat from many yards
it
away.
It was a lot of fun too.
I mean, I've been feeling the heat all year, but this bonfire has been absolutely terrific. When I think of the 2 bands, they were absolutely
They were
terrific.
really good.
Good music, and thank you to Roach Brothers for providing the food. There aren't too many communities that have a free barbecue for the townspeople that show, and it was absolutely
free.
terrific.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
We not only thank Roach Brothers, but we also thank All Town Fresh. They provided hot chocolate and cookies. The barbecue, thanks to the Roach Brothers, hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, dessert, cold drinks. I mean, it was absolutely terrific.
It was.
And we were fortunate enough to get some sponsors to join us to pass out flashlights.
Yes.
We gave out 1,000. We could have used 2,000. Of course, we had about 2,500 people in attendance. We thank all the town departments, the police department, the Department of Public Works, and of course the fire department, the school employees. It took lots of people to build a bonfire under the leadership of Fire Chief Justin Alexander. We even had a team on duty the night before the bonfire to watch to make sure that it didn't get lit till the next day.
Oh boy.
And we also had people stay overnight. I thank Dale Carister, my vice chair. He gave a lot of time for the whole weekend, and he's been doing that all year, and it's very much appreciated, Dale. And on December 21st, which is the official anniversary date, we're going to ring the church bells, and we're going to have a special ceremony to talk about some of the history. And speaking of history, it wasn't too long ago in August that we had the local Lions Club celebrate the history of the town. And that was done at the Oak Ames Memorial Hall. And I get excited when I talk about each event. And I thank the community of Easton for the honor that I've had to take the lead. But a leader is only as good as the people that you surround yourself with. And it's been a team approach, just like the couple that joins us on the air today. They use the team approach in their profession. And I guess that the team coming together for the Easton celebration has had good results so far. Everywhere I go today, they're all talking about the bonfire. 2 weeks ago, they were all talking about the block party. People have not forgotten the kickoff event at Stonehill College. Not only is Stonehill doing the kickoff event, but they're doing the closing event as well. Opening up the time capsule was kind of special to see what happened 50 years ago. And we're going to be burying another time capsule. I shouldn't say bury. We have had the honor of being able to store this at the Bank of Easton.
Oh.
It's been in a vault, and that was the last withdrawal that I made, was the time capsule that we had a chance to open. But I'll tell you, what a great parade we had. Maybe you could tell us how you felt about the parade.
So I'm actually looking forward to the next parade, which is
we're doing that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You have a Halloween parade.
Yes.
We're already thinking about the next event.
How we're gonna. We've got something for our
even
car.
The parade, we had about 1,100 people in the parade, and thousands of people watching the parade. It was the largest parade the town's ever had. The fireworks were extraordinary. We had 3 finales for the fireworks back on June 14th. The parade was on July 12th. The gala is on December 27th. That kickoff event goes way back to January 4th. And of course, it's been absolutely terrific to see people of all ages that live here in the town of Easton. I got to be honest with you, there's someone who said to me a long time ago that I'm a little discouraged living in Easton. And it goes back to the way things might have been going, and not everybody agrees. But that same person came to me 2 weeks ago and said, Dave, I want to change my mind. I'm so happy to live in the town of Easton. And I think this celebration has helped a bit by bringing families together. And I say to families out there, as often as you can, do things with your families, because family is a special part of community. Strong families mean strong communities. Strong communities mean a strong commonwealth. And I say that to the rest of the world. The fact is, there are some people that feel the world's gotten a little crazy, and they may be right. But the fact is, what are we going to do about it? Let's be positive, and let's do the best we can to make things come out. A final comment by you, Laura, before we wrap it up.
I agree that I think having the tricentennial Easton 300 I have noticed a real community spirit, and to have that many people at all of these different events. And we got to go to our first Brockton Rocks game because of the town and everything that all the different activities that are being focused on. And we had not been to one before, and that was fun. And just all the other things. I think it was a blast being there Saturday night at the bonfire. Impressive.
Did you go to the last car show? That was terrific.
We haven't been to a car show.
They had a car show at Borderland State Park
Right.
on the morning of October 11th. In the evening was the bonfire. But I thought that Dale Thistle did a terrific job. He had close to 250 cars.
Cars at the
Wow.
show.
People flashed, and it was absolutely terrific to hear the music and to see what was going on. It was a long day, and then we had the bonfire. Some final comments from you, Mark.
Yeah, I really appreciate, I think, what you said in the beginning, Dave, about family, and you're kind of ending with family and community. And even in what we're doing, we were talking about this before we started here, that it is a family effort. Even to move the needle for one student requires people to pitch in. It's the school and the family and the student and the tutor and so on. And I see that same spirit here with Easton 300. Any one of these events would have been fantastic.
Right.
But here we
all of
are in a
them-
year where we're getting, opportunity after opportunity for people to come and to just express their love, really, for one another as a town. And it's just been marvelous.
I think it's worth mentioning too that it could not have happened without all of the sponsors, because I know that this wasn't costing the town money. This was coming from the generosity of businesses and individuals all around the town. And
I'm glad you mentioned that, Laura. I know that the sponsors have been so generous here in the Easton community. And even people outside of the community wanted to chip in to make this a success story so that they in turn can do the same thing in their own communities. Of course, our 300th anniversary was a reason to do it, but the generosity in not taking funds from the town departments, I think really made sense. And it not only was a success story, but I always think of that other magic word, which is called service, Mark and Laura, how important service is. And I know that when we presented the graduating senior class with blankets, so that they would remember the history of the town of Easton, that they could take on to college or bring home and enjoy with their families. And one student said to me that they really appreciated what can we do for the town? And I said, I'm glad you asked that question. We didn't give you the blankets expecting anything in return, but there is a message that goes with it. As graduating seniors, I hope that someday that you in turn will give back to the community in some small way, because this is where your roots came from. We want you to remember the history, but we also want you to remember all the good things and all the people that were having an impact on your life. And I think that's a good way for us to end our show.
Thanks. Thank you, Dave.
thank you.
And I wanted to thank our viewing audience. And again, I say congratulations to the Tricentennial Committee. I thank our guests for joining us. And I say to each and every one of you out there that's watching, go forth to serve. Do it with a smile on your face. And if you're going to do something good to help someone out, do it with the dignity that it deserves. Thank you.